शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Today, Gita chanting class. Normally we are starting the class with a Telugu or Kannada. Today anyway some English speakers are also there here, and also our chief guest is also there here. Before introducing the chief guest, today I would like to tell that today is our 72nd episode. 71 classes we have completed so far. In the 71 classes, first chapter, second chapter, and the 12th chapter we have completed. 12th chapter, of course, last 6 shlokas are pending. Last 5 shlokas are pending. Rest of all the shlokas. And for the guest speaker, I am telling thing is that here some of our children have joined from the beginning. They are there here from the first chapter onwards. They are there. A few people have joined in between. That is first chapter in between, and a few more people joined from the second chapter onwards. And so 3 or 4 persons have joined only for the 12th chapter. Earlier they were not there. So we started with 5 people. Now we are roughly some 20 people we are there. So we are growing like that. Maybe in one day or other day, we would like to be a university, Gita University like that. That is our, it is called, that is what we are thinking. We are visualizing that we are going to become a university of Gita, not only Gita, maybe other things of ancient past, our culture, heritage, all these things we would like to include slowly and slowly. That is why today, maybe the first time we are calling for a guest lecture, because all these days I was the only person who was talking with you after Gita. Normally the procedure is like that for us. First half an hour I will be teaching, or they will be telling Gita. The second half I will be telling something about the past. So one day I will be telling about Vedas, one day I will be telling about Upanishads, one day some other thing, or some other day some odd thing, Benares Hindu University, what is Benares Hindu University, what is the greatness of Benares Hindu University, or some other day something like that. All these things we discussed, maybe 72 classes, maybe what are the Ashtasiddhis, what are Ashtanga Hridaya, like that something, all these things we were discussing maybe in the last 71 classes. Today is the 72nd class onwards. What I thought now, because after getting inspiration from the yoga class, yoga day, we have done very well. To be frank, much appreciation has come for us. So what I thought was that today onwards, maybe here afterwards, once in 2 days, or once in 2 classes, or once in 3 classes, we will be asking a guest lecture also. Guest speaker will be coming and they will be exchanging their thoughts. So that what will happen, maybe you are hearing me only, continuously. After hearing me, you may be getting bored also. That is also there. So instead of that, new persons also will be coming. New stream of thoughts will be flowing over this entire session. So that what will happen is that you will also be getting energized, and you will also be feeling very great to talk something, or you will be very great to participate in greater events in future also. So today, Aparna ಅವರೇ, ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಗೀತಾ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಾ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ನೀವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ? ಗೀತಾ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. 4-5 ಜನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇವತ್ತು ಹೇಳೋರು. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀನಿ ಇವರಿಗೆ. ಇವ್ರು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇನೆ ಕಂಠಪಾಠ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವರು ಕಂಠಪಾಠದವರು ಮಾಡಿರೋರಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇವತ್ತು ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್. ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಬರೀ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಏನ್ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ 72nd ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಯೂಶುವಲ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ విత్ గీతా రెసిటేషన్. గీతా రెసిటేషన్ ఈ రోజు 16th శ్లోకం నుంచి 20th శ్లోక ఆఫ్ 12th చాప్టర్. 12th చాప్టర్ ఈ రోజు మనం చెప్పుకుంటాము. ఎవరెవరు నేర్చుకున్నారు? హూ హ్యాస్ లెర్న్డ్ ఇట్ బై హార్ట్? హంసిని చెప్పింది కదా, హంసిని చెప్తావమ్మా. హంసిక చెప్పమ్మా. చెప్పమ్మా.
अनपेक्षशुचिर्दक्षः उदासीनो गतव्यतः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् यः स मे प्रियः समशत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समसङ्गविवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित्
अनिकेतस्थिरमतिः
भक्तिं भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्धाना मत्परमाः भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियाः।
Om Tat Saditi. That also you have to tell. You know it?
Yes,
Vastundamma?
sir.
Cheppamma.
Yes, sir.
Om
ब्रह्म विद्याय
ओम तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्म विद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुन संवादे भक्ति योगो नाम द्वादशोऽध्यायः।
Excellent. చాలా బాగా చెప్పినావు అమ్మి. వెరీ గుడ్. చాలా చాలా బాగుంది. వెరీ గుడ్.
Thank you, sir.
కార్తీక్ చెప్తావా? వెరీ గుడ్. చాలా బాగా చెప్పినావు హంసిక. కార్తీక్ చెప్పప్ప.
अनपेक्षश्च चिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यतः सर्वारम्भ परित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोषति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभ परित्यागी भक्तिमान्यः स मे प्रियः समशत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखेषु समः सङ्गविवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतस्थिरमतिः भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्धाना मत्परमाः भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियाः। ओम तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्म विद्यायां योगशास्त्रे कृष्णार्जुन संवादे भक्ति योगो नाम द्वादशोऽध्यायः।
వెరీ గుడ్. చాలా బాగా చెప్పినావా?
Yes,
వెరీ
sir.
గుడ్ వెరీ గుడ్. ఇంకెవరు నేర్చుకున్నారప్ప? కళ్ళు మూసుకొని చెప్పేవాళ్ళు 3 శ్లోకాలు 2 శ్లోకాలు చెప్పేవాళ్ళు కూడా పర్వాలేదు. నో ప్రాబ్లం. ప్రీతం చెప్పు. ప్రీతం చెప్పు. ప్రీతం దీక్షిత అడుగుతానమ్మా. ప్రీతం చెప్పేది చెప్పమ్మా. ప్రీతం
अनपेक्ष शुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यतः सर्वारंभ परित्यागी भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभ परित्यागी भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः
करेक्ट
मे प्रियः समशत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखेषु समः संग विवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतस्थिरमतिः भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्धाना मत्परमाः भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियाः। ओम तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्म विद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुन संवादे भक्ति नाम द्वादशोऽध्यायः।
ఎక్సలెంట్. బాగా చెప్పినావు. వెరీ గుడ్. వెరీ గుడ్. నెక్స్ట్ ఎవరు చెప్తారప్ప? విరాట్ వాడు చెప్తాడా? చెప్తావా?
సార్ విరాట్ చెప్తాడు.
చెప్పరా. బాగా చెప్తాను. దీక్షితాన్ని అడుగుతానమ్మా. పక్కనే ఉన్నాడు కదా వాడు, చిన్నపిల్లాడు. చెప్పేండిలే వాడు. చెప్పరా విరాట్.
अनपेक्ष शुचिर्दक्षः उदासीनो गतव्यतः
సర్వారంభ పరిత్యాగి భక్తిమాన్
सर्वारंभ परित्यागी भक्तिमान् यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः
భక్తిమాన్యः స మే ప్రియः
इमान्यः स मे प्रियः यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभ परित्यागी भक्तिमान्यः स मे प्रियः समशत्रौ च मित्रे च
तथा मानपमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समसङ्गविवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतस्थिरमतिः भक्तिमान्ये यो नरः एतद्धर्म्यामृतमिदम्
చెప్పు యథోక్తం
यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्धादान परमः मत्परमः
భక్తాస్తే
भक्तास्ते
తీవ మే ప్రియః
तीव मे प्रियः
ఓం
ॐ
తత్సత్
तत्सदिति ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्याया योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे भक्तियोगो नाम द्वादशोऽध्यायः
బాగా చెప్తున్నారా బాగా చెప్పినావు వెరీ గుడ్ ఎక్సలెంట్ ఇంకెవరు చెప్తారు సింధుజాకి వస్తుందేమో కదా చెప్పేస్తావా సింధుజ
अनपेक्षश्चिर्दक्षः उदासीनो
అప్పండి వదిలిపెట్టి అయిపోయి అది చెప్పనంటున్నా దాన్ని రాదు కదా ఇంకా నీ పెద్ద లాస్ట్ క్లాస్ రాలే కదా అది లాస్ట్ బిఫోర్ క్లాస్ పోన్లే వీడియో ఆఫ్ చేసేసుకోపోని నెక్స్ట్ ఎవరు చెప్తారు ఎవరైనా చెప్తారా నోటి చెప్పేవాళ్ళు వాసు నేర్చుకున్నావా నేర్చుకోలేదా చిన్మయి నేర్చుకోలేదా
సార్
నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ చెప్తావా
టూ శ్లోకాస్ వస్తాయి
టూ శ్లోకాన్ని చెప్పు పర్వాలా
అనపేక్షస్తు నిర్దక్షః ఉదాసీనో గతవ్యతః సర్వారంభ పరిత్యాగి యో మద్భక్తః స మే ప్రియః यो न वृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभ परित्यागी तिमान्यः स मे प्रियः
समशत्रौ च मित्रे च
शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानावमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समसङ्गविवर्जितः
కరెక్ట్ అదే మొదటి శ్లోకం చెప్పినా కదా అనపేక్షశుచిర్దక్షః ఉదాసీనో గతవ్యథః ఉధా అంటే ధాకు మహాప్రాణం లేదు ఇక్కడ ఉదాసీనో గతవ్యథః అనపేక్షశుచిర్దక్షః ఉదాసీనో గతవ్యథః ఉదాసీన కాదు అది ఒకటి గుర్తుపెట్టుకో నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ అన్ని నేర్చేసుకో సరేనా వెరీ గుడ్ ఇంకెవరైనా నేర్చుకుందరా ఒకటి రెండు
సార్ నా పేరు అనన్య
దీక్షిత చెప్పిన తర్వాత నువ్వు చెప్పు సరేనా దీక్షిత చెప్పమ్మా
सर्वारंभ परित्यागी यो भक्तः स मे प्रियः
అమృత ఎందుకు వీడియో ఆన్ చేసుకోవడం లేదు అమృత అనన్య మీరు వీడియో ఆన్ చేసుకోండి
సార్ ఆనే ఉంది సార్
వీడియో ఆన్ కనపడలే ఇప్పుడు కనిపిస్తున్నారు దీక్షిత వీడియో ఆన్ చేసుకోండి వీడియో ఆన్ చేసుకోవాలి ఆన్ లో లేదు నాకు దీక్షిత నాకు కనపడంలా అయితే చెప్పు నీకు ఆన్ లో ఉంది మాకు ఆన్ లో లేదు పోతే పని చెప్పు పర్వాలా చెప్పు
నశోక్షతి న కాంక్షతి శుభ పరిత్యాగి భక్తిమాన్యస్స మే ప్రియః సమశత్రౌ మిత్రే తథా
శీతోష్ణ సుఖ దుఃఖేషు సమసంగ వివర్జితః తుల్య నిందాస్తుతిర్మౌని వినపడలేదమ్మి రాదా సరే ఓకే వైష్ణవి వీడియో ఆన్ చేసుకోమ్మి వైష్ణవి వీడియో ఆన్ చేసుకోవాలి సరేనా నెక్స్ట్ గ్యాలక్సీ J7 NXT అన్నారు ఎవరో తెలీదు
సార్ పూజిత 3 శ్లోకాలు
సార్ నా పేరు అనన్య సార్ నేను చెప్పన్నా
చెప్పమ్మా అనన్య చెప్పమ్మా
హా సార్
ఆ,
సార్ ఒక్క నిమిషం
ఆ.
अनपेक्षस्य चिर्दक्षः उदासीनो गतव्यतः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचि न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् यः स मे प्रियः సో నేను రెండు నేర్చుకున్నాను సార్
రెండు నేర్చుకున్నావా వెరీ గుడ్ మిగతా నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ చెప్పమ్మా అయితే సరేనా Okay.
సార్
ఇంకెవరైనా చెప్తారా ఎనీబడి కార్తీక్ వై ఆర్ యు స్విచ్ వై డిడ్ యు స్విచ్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ వీడియో కార్తీక్ వైష్ణవి
Try to tell two slokas, sir.
టూ శ్లోకాస్ చెప్పమ్మా
अनिपेक्षशुचिर्दक्षः उदासीनो गतव्यतः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः तुल्य
यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि
द्वेष्टि न शोक्ष्यति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः
भक्तिमान् यः स मे प्रियः
भक्तिमान् यः स मे प्रियः
వెరీ గుడ్ సరే నో చెప్పప్పా చెప్పు
अनपेक्षशुचिर्दक्षः उदासीनो गतव्यतः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः
भक्तिमान् यः स मे प्रियः
भक्तिमान् यः स मे प्रियः
సరే ఇంకెవరైనా చెప్తారా
సార్
పూజిత చెప్తావమ్మా చెప్పమ్మా
శ్లోకాలు సార్
3 శ్లోకాలు చెప్పమ్మా
अनपेक्षः शुचिर्दक्षः उदासीनो गतव्यतः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यो न वृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमन्यः स च मे प्रियः समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानवमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समः సంగవివర్జితః
ఓకేనమ్మా మిగిలిన నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ లో చెప్తావా సరే వెరీ గుడ్ ఇంకెవరైనా చెప్తారా నువ్వు చెప్తావా చెప్పమ్మి చెప్పు
ఉదాసీనో గతవ్యతః సర్వారంభపరిత్యాగి यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः समशत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् यः स मे प्रियः समशत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समसङ्गविवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेत स्थिरमतिः
भक्तिमान्यः प्रियो नरः ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्धादानामत्परमाः यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः
భక్తాస్తేతీవ మే ప్రియాః. ఒకదాని ఒకటి మిస్ అయింది. సరే. ఓం తత్సదితి.
భగవద్గీతాసు ఉపనిషత్సు బ్రహ్మ విద్యాయ యోగశాస్త్రే
శ్రీకృష్ణార్జున సంవాదే
భక్తియోగో నామ
ద్వాదశోధ్యాయః. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. చాలా బాగా చెప్ತೀವಿ. ಇದ್ರ ಬಾగా చెప్ತೀವಿ. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಅಮ್ಮ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. నెక్స్ట్ ఎవరైనా చెప్తారా? సరే, అయితే మనం ఏం చేద్దామంటే ఈరోజు నేను ఐ విల్ గివ్ ఏ బ్రీఫ్ ఇంట్రడక్షన్ అబౌట్ అవర్ గెస్ట్ స్పీకర్ టుడే. సరేనా? టుడే ఈజ్ అవర్ 72nd class, as I told. Today, from now onwards, what I thought was, maybe all these days, after half an hour of Gita lecture, we were discussing something about ancient culture, heritage, past, all these things we were discussing. Like that, 71 classes are over. We are hearing so many things we have learned so far, because some stories also we have told in between. In between, we have told some other things about Indian culture, drama, dance, all these things we have discussed. Vedas, Puranas, Itihasa, Shruti literature, Smriti literature, Itihasas, Sri Mahavishnu avatars, like this, everything, all these things, many things we have discussed. And so what I thought was that maybe from now onwards, maybe once in 2 weeks or once in 3 weeks, depending upon the availability of the guest lecture, we will be inviting some distinguished person to give her his lecture. Lecture means they will be connecting with you. It is an interactive session. You can also ask some doubts. They will be clarifying, like that. So I would like to introduce Dr. Aparna Avaru. She is very much close to my family also from the long back. I know her for the last 30 years almost. From the time onwards, I have known her. She is one of the leading Ayurvedic physician in Bangalore, and she has given more than 100 lectures in radio programs and also TVs also. And she is very expert in Ayurveda. Many tips in Ayurveda with regard to all types of health hazards. She has given to many podiums and many platforms. She has given her lecture and applauded by many people. Like that, she has come. Today, I asked her, would you like to come here and join with our children? Because we are roughly some 20 people we are there. Because right now, 22 people are there. Maybe in one screen also again 2 people are there. Like that, if you calculate, maybe some 25 people are there today. Maybe we will be having the opportunity to hear the great words of some leading persons. When they come, they will be telling about their experiences, and they will be telling about a cultural heritage, our past, and all these things. Ayurveda is our cultural heritage. That is there now, because Ayurveda is a unique system of medicine that has been given out to the world as a whole by India. India has given the Ayurveda. Ayurveda అనేది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ అన్నమాట. ఇది ఆయుర్వేద అనేది ఏమంటారంటే దీన్ని వేదాంగాలు అంటారన్నమాట. ధనుర్వేద అంటాం అన్నమాట. గంధర్వ వేద అంటాము, ఆయుర్వేద అంటాము. సో లైక్ దిస్, ఆయుర్వేద ఇస్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద సిస్టమ్స్ ఆఫ్ వేదాంగాస్. వేదాంగాలు అనేది ఒకసారి ఎప్పుడో నేను డిస్కస్ చేశాను. ఎప్పుడు 5th class లోనో 6th class లోనో మనం డిస్కస్ చేసాం. వాట్ ఆర్ వేదాంగాస్? సమ్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ నాట్ దేర్ అట్ ద టైమ్, ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ. మేము వేదాంగాస్ అంటే ధనుర్వేద అంటాము. ధనుర్వేద అంటే హౌ టు ఎయిమ్ ద యారోస్. దానికే ఒక పెద్ద బుక్ దాని పెద్ద చరిత్ర అంతా ఉందన్నమాట. గంధర్వ వేద హౌ టు సెయింగ్, దానికే ఒకటి ఉందన్నమాట. సో లైక్ దట్ ఆయుర్వేద ఈజ్ ఆల్సో వన్ ఆఫ్ ద సిస్టమ్స్ ఆఫ్ వేదాంగాస్, వన్ సిస్టమ్ ఆఫ్ వేదాంగ. ఆ వేదాంగం గురించి ఈరోజు మనకు అర్థమయ్యే రీతిలో, బికాస్ హీ ఈజ్ ఏ ఎక్స్పర్ట్. an expert has to come down to the level of our maturity, because మనకేం తెలియదు కదా, నాకు ఏం తెలియదు, మీకు ఏం తెలియదు. కాబట్టి మనం ఏం చేసుకోవాలంటే మనం we have to understand. Whatever we don't understand, we have to ask again. If we ask, she will be clarifying. Kada Amruta, okay na? What we will be doing is that we will be hearing her first, whatever she tells. In between also, if you are having any compelling reason to ask, you can ask. Otherwise, don't ask. Let her complete. Between also, if at all it is a compelling, it is very much necessary that you have to understand. Without that, you don't understand further. And Eman Anpiste, you can just interrupt, and then you can ask. Otherwise, you can wait for her to complete, and then we can ask her some questions. Okay, na? Here is 72nd episode. But we are very, very, very glad to have Dr. Aparna here. Let her. I am giving the mic to her only. Mic ante mic elladi kada, but virtual mic. Okay, let her talk now.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nagaraj. Shall I talk in Kannada or English or mix both? Is it enough? Am I audible to everybody?
People don't understand Kannada, 1 or 2%.
I'll try to talk in English only as much as possible.
Okay, English and
because
Kannada.
everybody will understand.
Kannada, English. Fine.
Hope I am audible, right? I'm audible now? Okay. First of all, I will start with the prayer of Lord Dhanvantari. Om Namami Dhanvantarim Adidevam Surasurai Vandita Pada Padmam Loke Jararudbhaya Mrityunasham Dataramisham Vividaushadinam. So we started with the prayer of Lord Dhanvantari. So we believe that Lord Dhanvantari is the origin of Ayurveda. So what is Ayurveda? As your Dr. Nagaraj sir said, there are 4 Vedas, you know. I am very happy I saw all of you are so nicely, you are chanting all the mantras and shlokas, and I am so very happy that you are learning all this. Everything is all our rich Indian knowledge. Okay. So there are 4 Vedas. Each Veda has an Upaveda. As sir said, Dhanurveda, Gandharva Veda, and Arthashastra and Ayurveda. Ayurveda is known as or supposed to be the Upaveda of Atharva Veda. What is Ayurveda? So actually, Ayurveda should have been introduced at the school level itself. Unfortunately, we have lost all our Indian culture, our knowledge, and we have lost everything, and all our education system is now the Western education, where we are learning modern physics, biology, maths, everything. But you might be surprised to know that our ancient India was already proficient in all the subjects, may it be health science or medicine, or may it be engineering or sculpture or anything and everything. We were a highly civilized country. We knew everything. There you have seen so many temples with, so many unbelievable engineering marvels. So whatever field you take, even Vimana Shastra, they say even astronauts, spaceships, everything, you name it and you have it. We had very, very high knowledge about everything in all the fields. So also the Ayurveda was very much there. What is Ayurveda? So I feel all the children actually at the school level and only should be introduced about Ayurveda, because Ayurveda is a health science. It's a science of life, where health is of course a major aspect of it, but it is not only limited to health, it is a science of life. As I think you all know Sanskrit to some extent, so it is easier for me to explain. So Ayu is life. Veda means knowledge. So what is Ayurveda? As people generally think Ayurveda means just some herbal medicines prepared out of some plants. They just think that that is what is Ayurveda. That is only a very small part of Ayurveda. Ayurveda is a very huge knowledge, ocean of knowledge of life. It is not only related to human life. We have Ayurveda, Vriksha Ayurveda means Ayurveda which is related to or explains about the plants, the plant kingdom, and even the animal kingdom. Nowadays, they are using some of our medicines even in veterinary sciences. So Ayurveda is all about life. So life, of course, health is a very important aspect of life, and it has other aspects also. So Ayurveda, to live very happily and to lead a very successful life, there are 4 Purusharthas, right? What are the 4 Purusharthas? Anyone? Dharma.
Purusharthalu em cheppandi evarana cheptara? Osari cheptukunnam Purusharthalu.
Dharma, Artha, Moksha.
Good.
Nice.
Dharma, Artha,
Very
Kama,
good.
Moksha. Very good. Very
Dharma,
good.
Artha, Kama, Moksha.
Moksha,
So
very good.
sweet of you. So
Ah.
you are all very smart kids. So Dharmartha Kama Mokshanam Arogyam Moolam Uttamam. Nityagaschanubantascha Ayurvedasa Uchyate. So Ayurveda is very important to achieve Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. So to achieve this, good health is important, right? See, if you are healthy only, you can go to school, you can work, you can study. If you have a headache or a fever, you can't concentrate, you can't do any work. So our efficiency of life on earth is mainly dependent on our good health. Of course, health has two aspects, physical health and mental health, both. So to be healthy and to lead a very good life, not only just to lead a healthy life here, we have to, attain good dharma, artha, kama and moksha. I think you know I will not be elaborating on all the four. So to attain a very successful healthy life, health is important. So Ayurveda aims at, it has two main branches like prevention and treating the diseases. Aturasya roga nivaranam, swasthasya swasthya rakshanam. So swastha, what is swastha? What is swasthya? Health. So swastha means all our organs. So samadosha, samagnischa, samadhatu, malakriya, prasanna, atmendriya, manaha, swastha, ityabhidiyate. They have defined health like that in Ayurveda. So I don't know how to start because I don't know if you are aware of doshas, dhatus and malas. These are the basis of Ayurveda. I don't think I will go into detail about all those things. 3 doshas we have. Heli Nagaraj sir, can I tell them what is? Okay, I will just tell very briefly why health is important and how relevant it is for them.
Ayurveda importance, Ayurveda history. ಯಾರು first start ಮಾಡಿದಾರು, the history of Ayurveda also must be must be interesting for them. What is the history of Ayurveda? Maybe like that. From how long it is there?
Ayurveda is very old one. Andre, it is more than, it has a history of more than 5,000 years. So it is supposed to be started by Brahma to Daksha Prajapati, from Daksha Prajapati to Ashwini Devate, and Ashwini Devate to next rishis like then Charaka, Sushruta, Vagbhata. So all the rishis, so it has come from the lineage of the rishis. It started from Brahma himself. So this is the origin of Ayurveda. And in those days, they were not like now, we do something, we invent something, we put our name and all that, because we are very keen that our name should be there. But in those days, those Maharshis, whoever found out, it was just a compilation. Ayurveda was not found out by one single person. In history, it is told that it came from Brahma itself. But then later on, all the rishis like Sharangadhara, so many rishis were there. They were all Charaka, Sushruta. So they all added their knowledge, and they never kept their names. They kept their names hidden. They didn't want that I only found out this like that, not like that. So they have just added their experiences and made it vast, and they like by chanting and by certain things, the written records also were there. They have continuously passed on this knowledge from those days. So it is, and we find it is so astonishing that so many things now, to know about the diseases, we have X-ray, scanning and so many equipments, but they were all yogis themselves, which they had so much of power that when they could, now if somebody falls down, we have to take an X-ray to find out whether the bone is broken or not, whether there is a fracture or not. In those days, they had that extra powers, yogic powers, and they used to know what is wrong inside. So that is how they have been treated. They have been treating the diseases, and they have given a lot of lot of tips as to stay healthy. So Ayurveda is not just taking some herbal medicine. So to stay healthy, what is needed? So at your age, what I suggest is, so in the prevention aspect, swasthya rakshane, like how to prevent getting diseases. As you are seeing now, we are going through a pandemic also. Corona, they say immunity and so many words like that, right? So how you will get immunity? Like immunity is not only just preventing one disease, it is just staying healthy. So how to stay healthy? So there are 3 upastambhas in Ayurveda. They say ahara, nidra and brahmacharya. So for you, I'll specify certain things. So in ahara, first of all, good food is very important, because I thought I will emphasize on ahara because children are very important. You are the next generation. No, if you are healthy, our next generation will be healthy. So how to make you healthy? So you have to take good food, healthy food. So I have seen, as we have observed, youngsters usually like all the Western food and junk food and so many, they think it is tasty food, but it is not good for health. So when your mommy says, don't order for pizza, I will prepare some dosa for you or idli for you, you will say no, right? You will like that pizza and cake and all those things. So I just want to emphasize on certain points of your food habits, first of all. So why your food habits are important? Ahara sambhavam vastuhu, rogascha ahara sambhavaha. Ayurveda says this body, vastu means this human body, every day it is nourished or it is growing or it is made by ahara. So you have car at home, right? I think you have car or scooter or whatever. So how do you say that car is functioning well? How you will maintain the engine of the car? By putting good quality diesel or petrol, right? If you put with dust or some polluted fuel, the car doesn't work, the engine fails. Similarly, so you have to have good food for your good nutrition and your good tissues. All you have, your bones, your blood, your muscles, your liver and your heart, everything should be in good quality and good functioning, right? So if it has to be in good functioning, first of all, you have to take healthy food. So what is healthy food according to Ayurveda? I will give just a brief tips for you. In Ayurveda, we have what is known as ahara sevana vidhi, means how the food should be. So the food should be, we say, snigdham ashniyat, ushnam ashniyat. So snigdham means that which is mixed with little grease. Grease, which grease? Don't go for cheese or whatever paneer or which is something. Avoid which is not our own. If you take it rarely, very rarely, fine. But regularly, if you take some food which is not our own, our cells recognize whatever our grandparents have been eating. So if I eat something which my grandparents and parents were eating, it will be readily digestible and assimilable by my system, and it will give nutrition to me. If I just go on eating something which is not original to me, naturally my digestion will be hampered. That is why you have to eat freshly prepared food. Ushnamashniya means freshly prepared food, which is prepared by your mother with love, because food is not just a physical entity. Food also contains the energy, a subtle energy, sukshma, we say, subtle energy in the form of the concern, love and affection. So if we just eat the hotel food, definitely there won't be love and affection in it. There will be just business. They want business. They will prepare the food and parcel you. So once in a way, maybe it is okay, but not on regular basis. So that food should contain love, affection and freshly prepared food. Food with little ghee or butter. So this is you have to eat. You have to eat with wash your hands properly, and your mind should be calm. Sit in one place, and while watching TV or watching something else, eating food is not good, because your concentration on what you are eating is very important. So if you concentrate on what you are eating, you will know what you are eating, and your body will digest the food properly and help in assimilation. In Ayurveda, they have just briefly told there are 4 types of the mistakes that we do while in eating the food. So what we do, there are 4 points. Number 1 is adhyashana. Adhyashana means before one meal is digested, we are eating another meal. Like morning, you would have had a breakfast. Okay, say maybe around 8 o'clock. Your lunch will be say around 1 or 1:30. So around 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, you are not hungry because your breakfast is not yet digested. But still what we do, we take something like some biscuit or some bonda and have one coffee. That something eating in the middle without the previous meal is being digested is known as adhyashana. So these all will affect our digestion, means Agni. Digestion and metabolism is the Agni or the fire, Panchamahabhutas. You know, we are made up of Panchamahabhutas only. So this, our digestion will be hampered. So it is like when you are cooking, suppose say you are cooking rice or something, and when the rice is half cooked, you are adding another morsel of rice to it for cooking. What will happen to it? The previous one is not yet cooked properly, and what you are adding to it now will also not be cooked properly. Ultimately, it results in a final dish which is not at all good. That is how our digestion will be hampered if you eat repeatedly. Adhyashana, we call it as. And anashana. Anashana means total abstinence from eating and drinking. Like some people do this fasting, and sometimes they do 100% fasting with not even a single drop of water. So that also causes vata prakopa, we say, means the vata in the digestive system gets aggravated and leads to vata related issues. And anashana, adhyashana, atyashana. Atyashana means eating in excessive quantities. So each person's Agni is different. You know, in modern science, the modern medicine or whatever, they say you have to eat what is balanced diet. They say you have to, each person should eat so much of proteins, so much of carbohydrates, so much of fat. They have fixed everything. So many grams of rice or so many, one bowl of rice. It is not like that in Ayurveda. So we have a concept of Shadrasopeta Ahara. So balanced diet as per Ayurveda is, we should include all the 6 tastes in our food. 6 tastes are sweet, sour, hot, madura, amla, lavana, that is salt, katu, tikta, kashaya. Katu is kara, tikta is bitter, and kashaya is astringent taste. So in our diet, include all these tastes. So your mother knows, I don't have to tell all that to you because your parents know and your mom cooks know all that. Our Indian, the very Indian food itself contains all this Shadrasopeta Ahara, and we don't fix the quantity of food or anything like that because it depends on Agni. Each person's Agni is different. The digestive capacity is different. So how much you have to eat? You have to eat in the right pramana, the right quantity. How do you decide the right quantity? If you eat something in the morning, so you should feel hungry by your next meal time. So if you don't feel hungry by the next meal time, that means that pramana what you are eating in the morning is more. So you have to reduce that. So you have to eat how much ever you can digest so that you will be hungry by the next meal time. So unless you are hungry, so you should not eat food. And they say, you know, when you are ill, you don't feel like eating, right? You're sometimes, this I should be telling to the elders, actually, they force food to the children, which results in more ama. When you are not well, when you're not feeling hungry, you should not eat. So decide your food as per your digestive power. And mithyashana. Mithyashana means false food or which is not good, which is not very nutritious. So in that comes all this bonda, bhaji, pizza, burger, and so many things we just eat for the sake of our taste buds and not for nutritional value. They are not going to be digested properly. And anything which is not digested properly in our body results in production of ama. Ama is something which is not digested. It becomes like a toxin. So rogaha sarvepi mandagno, they say, and all the diseases are due to mandagni, means when your agni is hampered, when it is not digested properly, all these toxins will go and sit in various organs, and whichever is weak, you know, some people have cough frequently, some people have indigestion and such problems frequently, some people will have headache, some people will have some skin rashes and all that. So each person will have some organ or the other weak. So in which part is weak or susceptible, there this ama goes and attacks and causes diseases. So for you children, I suggest that please listen to your parents and try to reduce your intake of bakery products or foodstuffs which are not our own and which are outside prepared food. Try to stick on to whatever your parents provide you, which is home prepared food. And of course, manas, mind is also there. Second point is ahara, I told. Second point is nidra, sleep. Sleep pattern is very important. Very good, nice sleep is very, very important for your immunity. So by getting good sleep, all your intelligence, everything will be good. So I have heard or I have known that in our younger days, we didn't have laptop, we didn't have TV, we didn't have mobile. So naturally, we were all just finishing our homework and have our dinner, and by 8:39 we would just go and sleep. But nowadays, and we used to sleep with our parents or in the same hall or something like that. We never had separate rooms for each one of us. But fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know why, now each child has a separate room and we don't know till what time they are awake watching something on the either laptop or mobiles. They are just continuously watching and not sleeping properly, so they are going to bed very late. Naturally, next day also they are getting up very late. So these are not going to help you. So please watch, you see that you get good sleep. Don't go take too much of screen time. Don't spoil your eyes and don't spoil your health also. Sleep well. This is very important. And next is your mental health. Mental health, brahmacharya means there are several aspects come under it, but for you, it is calmness and good mental status. How does a good mental status come? So you have been learning Gita and all these things. So everything is there in Ayurveda. Is also a sort of, we have so many shlokas or so many, I can say, references as to interrelated. Spirituality is interrelated with Ayurveda. So how you will be mentally healthy, how you will be mentally happy? You by obeying your parents, by respecting elders, by cultivating good habits. So you have to be good. You helping others and not being jealousy and all those things. So you have to cultivate a habit of always being happy, helpful, peaceful, and obedient, and all these things. So your mental health will be good. Keep your mind calm so that your health will be good. So I think, I don't know how much time I took now, almost 7:50 now. So these three aspects which are relevant to you, I think I have explained to some extent to you children. So I wish that this Ayurveda subject is introduced at the school level itself, that you will know that we also had something like this in our own culture, the way of life. Thank you very much for patient listening. Any questions you can ask me. Namaste.
Sir,
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ?
mute అయినారు.
ತುಂಬಾ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಅಪರ್ಣ ಅವರೇ. ನಾನು ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ. ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಎನಿ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್.
Yes, sir. I have a question.
చెప్పಮ್ಮ.
Like how ma'am told that you must reduce your screen time, it will affect your eyes. But I have seen many videos. They tell that few scientists have proven that watching more like video games and all improves your eye to hand coordination and improves your eyesight. Like when you're driving, you can identify the colors better. Is it really true or not, ma'am?
I don't think it is true, because see, we have Ayoga, Hina Yoga, Mithya Yoga in Ayurveda of Indriyas. So we have 10 Indriyas, 5 Jnanendriyas and 5 Karmendriyas, right? So these Jnanendriyas, what are the Jnanendriyas? Eyes, nose, tongue, ears and skin. So these are the what you say, the connecting points for any organism to the external world, right? I am seeing you because I have an eye. I am listening to you because I have an ear. All that. These are, if these have to function properly, they have told you have to avoid Hina Yoga, Mithya Yoga and Ayoga. Ayoga means absolutely not using them. That is one. Like how Gandhari tied up her eyes when she married Dhritarashtra. Probably after many more years, we don't know what would have happened to her the vision, because she never used it. That is one point. Hina Yoga means very less using, not at all using. That also, you know, any machine or any other thing which you use properly only it will work. Mithya yoga, ati yoga. Mithya yoga is false or wrong. Ati yoga is excessive usage. Ati sukshma in Ayurveda, they say that ati sukshma, like, you know, watching very small microscope, and those with who work with this watch factory and all, know they have to watch very, very sukshma things. And Mithya yoga is this comes under just today, you know, I was just seeing something in Ashtanga Hridaya. They have told luminous objects, that means that which emits light. If you watch for a long time, naturally your eyes will be spoiled. So what I feel is, whatever modern certain things they say, you know, they have some reason behind it, because if you reduce the screen time, maybe they have some monetary benefits. I really don't believe these what they say, because whatever is told in Ayurveda is Veda, so it can never go wrong, because if they have told this is this, if Shunti has these qualities, as you have seen, Haridra has these qualities, or this is this, it never you know, it never gets cancelled or never gets banned. Whatever they have told in Ayurveda it is definitely true. So these theories, what they say today, they will say one theory, tomorrow they will say another theory. I don't think excessive screen time will definitely improve and all. I don't think. So I don't deny that you know, you have to use it, because such a situation has come now. So we are using, even now this class also we are doing on screen only. But how much ever is essential, you do that much. Otherwise, avoid extra like that. I don't think that is true. What they say is true.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
ఇంకా ఎవరైనా అడుగుతారా? ఎనీబడి వుడ్ లైక్ టు ఆస్క్? పెద్దవాళ్ళు కూడా అడగచ్చు.
Yes, doctor, my mom always tells me that the light will burn the cells inside the eyes. Is it true, ma?
It is not like burning directly. It will increase the pitta in the, because it is a tejo mahabhuta pradhana. Eyes are tejo mahabhuta pradhana. So naturally, if you ati yoga will it will not literally burn, but it will reduce its capacity. It will definitely harm, that much we can say. That is why you have to do, you know, just apply little castor oil on your eyes here, coconut oil or castor oil. And we have our own treatments like internal medicines also, and we have Ashtotanaka, Netra Ashotana, and all that. Some actually we have what is known as Panchakarma Chikitsa, means like servicing, like how we service our vehicles. Once in a few months we have to do. There is a lot of you know, so many other things which I have to tell you, Dinacharya and Rutucharya and all that. Like how we have to apply oil all over the body, apply oil to your eyes and put oil into your nostrils and ear every day. Nasya Karma, Dinacharya, they have told so many things which protects. But we are not doing it, unfortunately. So at least you can do all that, and use ghee in food. That I forgot to tell you. I think I told you, but I didn't tell the further more uses of ghee. Ghee is chakshushya, medhya. So it improves the function of your brain and your eyes. So all this, there are so many tips in our this thing which helps to keep your eyes healthy. Definitely, it doesn't literally burn, but it diminishes the functioning. It's not good.
Thank you.
Brunda, you can ask.
Ma'am, that in my leg means small black dots in my leg, ma'am. That's why what we have to do for that? It is not going.
Dots of which color? Is it blackish?
Black. Yes, ma'am, it is black.
Is it due to mosquito bite? Usually due to mosquito bite you will get like that.
My full two legs also.
Okay. What you can do is you can take my number from Uncle Dr. Nagaraj Rao uncle, and you can talk to me. I need to talk to you separately for at least 10 or 15 minutes regarding your digestion and other things, like, you know, I need to talk to you for some time, and then you can send some, take pictures of that your skin problem and send me, and then accordingly I will advise some medicines and home remedies to your mother, so that she will help you with that. Okay.
Thank
you. Okay.
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste.
Ma'am, I hear these words Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, ma'am. What is it, ma'am? Could you explain it?
So nice. Yeah, it is a very vast subject. Anyway, briefly I will explain. So our body is, functioning in three aspects. So there, Vata is, I can correlate Vata to the whole nervous system. So anything which is moving, movements and absorption, excretion, all these comes under the purview of Vata. Pitta, they are functional aspects. You cannot see it actually. We cannot see Vata. Like how can you see wind? So you can't see wind. How wind is there? The same, the same factor is in our body. It is functioning. So that all the movements is exchange of gases, assimilation, digestion, movement of our hands, legs, involuntary movements, voluntary movements. We are blinking, we are talking, everything. The exchange of messages in the nerve conduction, the blood circulation, any movement is due to Vata, we say. So we have 5 types of Vayu, Pitta and Kapha. Pitta is the Agni or something which is related to transformation of whatever we eat. So chemical reactions, the changes. So something related to heat. So Agni Mahabhuta is related to Pitta. So we have 5 types of Pitta also in our body. It will be too much in detail if I explain now. So I'll just tell you briefly. Kapha, what is Kapha? Kapha is the hardware. Like hardware means the structure what you see is made up of the building blocks of our body is made of Kapha. And some of the secretions, like we have synovial fluid and fluid inside the brain. So we have some fluids which lubricate the part. They are all made up of Kapha. So these 3 are the aspects of our body, like the Pancha Mahabhuta. Prithvi and Ap Mahabhuta is made of Kapha. Agni Mahabhuta makes the Pitta. Akasha and Vayu Mahabhuta is made of Vata. So the harmony between the 3. Another example I can say is in childhood, Kapha will be predominant. In the middle age, Pitta will be predominant, and in old age, Vata will be predominant. Same way everywhere, like in the morning, Kapha predominant, afternoon, Pitta predominant, night, Vata predominant. Beginning of the night, Kapha, middle of the night, Pitta, and end of the night, Vata. Beginning of digestion is Kapha, mid digestion is Pitta, and end of digestion is Vata. Even in disease patterns, in the beginning stage of the disease, it will be Kapha predominant, then takes Pitta, and then takes Vata. I said, I think a complex matter to describe, but anyway, a little bit I have explained to you.
చాలా పెద్ద ప్రీతమ్మ, చాలా పెద్ద సబ్జెక్ట్ అది, చాలా పెద్ద సబ్జెక్ట్. వాత పిత కప్ప నేను 30 ఏళ్ల నుంచి అండర్స్టాండ్ చేసుకునే దానికి పోతే ఇంతవరకు నాకు రాలేదు, కాబట్టి మనకు అంత త్వరగా రాదు. కొత్త వాళ్ళకి చాలా కష్టం. ఇట్ ఈస్ వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్. ఓన్లీ దోస్ పర్సన్స్ విల్ అండర్స్టాండ్. మనకేదో బ్రాడ్ గా అర్థమవుతుంది అంతే. నేను 20 ఏళ్ళుగా దాన్ని అర్థం చేసుకునే ట్రై చేస్తున్నా, వారికి పూర్తి అర్థం కాల. అందువల్ల సంథింగ్ విల్ అండర్స్టాండ్.
But it is an interesting. They have to introduce this at the school level, sir.
Interesting subject. Correct. Chala manchi question
when we joined our Ayurveda degree course, suddenly from PUC where we were taught only biology, modern biology, chemistry, and all those things. When a lecturer started his lecture with Vata, Pitta, Kapha, literally we were confused. First, it took nearly 2 to 3 months for us to understand what is this he is saying. Then gradually, we understood. It's a language by itself. Ayurveda is a language by itself, so it's difficult. But they will understand.
Particularly, 3 terminology అడిగినా ప్రీతం, అదే Vata, Pitta, Kapha, very difficult. All these things are very big subject, very big subject. Briefly,
for that I would suggest, if you are interested, actually you can there is a book known as The Perfect Health. Perfect Health by Deepak Chopra. So he has written about these basics of Ayurveda for a common man. So there are several books you can try to purchase and understand. There are several books written by Deepak Chopra, Perfect Health. So you try to take that book and you may become an Ayurvedic doctor. Who knows? It is nice if you become an Ayurvedic doctor.
Correct.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
ఎవరైనా అడుగుతారా? Anybody want to ask any question? ఎవరైనా అడుగుతారా ప్రశ్నలు? Because all people will be having so many questions, no, for us. Ayurveda related questions చాలా ఉంటాయి కదా. ఏమైనా అడిగేటట్టుంటే you can ask. ఎవరైనా అడుగుతారా?
Namaste, ma'am. We are Aniruddha Abhinav. Morning we feel cold, ma'am, after waking up.
What do you say? I didn't hear that.
Ma'am, we feel cold, ma'am, after waking up for some time.
After waking up, feeling cold.
You feel cold. Cold means your body feels cold, or you have a running nose or something.
Running nose.
Running nose. As soon as you get up, you have running nose.
Yes, ma'am.
That shows you have little kapha pradhana. We say allergic rhinitis, they say that, but we say it is pratishyaya.
We both have dust allergy, ma'am.
That means you have little allergy in your nose. So what you have to avoid is, you have to avoid ice cold items, cold food and drinks. You have to avoid.
Not take any cold food.
You are not taking, don't take anything which is very cold or refrigerated or fried food and all. And what you have to do is, you have to try to drink warm water, boiled and little warm water.
Okay.
And if I tell you something, would you remember? Because I will tell one simple home remedy for this. You have to fry turmeric, arishna.
Yes.
Arishna, turmeric powder. Little turmeric powder you fry in a few drops of ghee. And when it is cooled, you store it in a dry container. Every day, morning and night, half a teaspoon, you just add in a cup of milk and drink that turmeric powder, which is fried in ghee. Okay. And take steam inhalation.
Okay,
for some time, morning and evening. And after steam inhalation, there is one small taila known as anu taila. Just one drop you have to put in the nose.
Yes, ma'am. Have in our home.
Just do steam inhalation twice a day, but put drops only once a day. It is enough. And avoid banana and this bendekai. What we say? Ladies finger.
Ladies finger.
Ladies finger and brinjal, all that you avoid, and you do this for some time. If you are better, you continue that. Otherwise, you can contact me. I shall advise more medicines.
Okay.
Doctor,
I drink turmeric, ma'am. Is it enough, or we should try it, ma'am?
Fry it, the turmeric powder.
No, ma'am. Turmeric milk. My mother gives it.
Ask her to fry it before adding it to that milk. Fry in ghee, little ghee.
Okay. Thanks, ma'am.
In night I get nose block, but in morning it is free. Is it some cold or something, sign of cold?
Do you get headache?
No, I don't get headache.
If you bend, do you have any heaviness here in this region? You have any heaviness? Nothing. You get only nose block only at night. That's all. Okay. Don't expose yourself to dust or strong smell. Do you use any perfumes or anything which is strong? No. Don't you avoid exposure to dust, strong smell, and you also take hot water. And what I said, that turmeric milk to him, that you can also take. And anutaila, just after steam inhalation, put 2 drops of anutaila into each nostril, and we'll get what is known as Panchagavya Grita. You can note down if you want, Panchagavya Grita. That is a very good this thing. What you have to do is, you just melt few drops of it in a spoon. Put a few drops of that Panchagavya Grita and keep it on the flame, just it melts and becomes lukewarm. Just 1 drop into each nostril you have to put. That you, once you put Anutaila and once you put this Ghruta, like that you do it. Gradually, you try for say around 3 weeks, it will reduce. And avoid again ice creams and anything which is cold, you have to avoid. Juices, ice creams, and guava, that's jampandu, they say, no? Seebehannu. That one, sitapala, banana, all that you have to. You can eat fruits like mango, papaya, and all that, which are not kaphakaraka.
Ma'am, I have one more doubt, ma'am. I tried Anutaila before, but I feel like little burning in my throat and
Okay.
not able
You,
to.
okay. Tried Anutaila. What you do is then you also try this Panchagavya Ghruta. That will not cause burning sensation. Panchagavya Ghruta.
Okay.
Panchagavya Ghruta. I will send that picture in WhatsApp to, it's one particular brand is there. It is very good. I will send that to uncle, Dr. Nagaraj Rao uncle. He will tell you. You buy that only. Ma Gav Ghruta, like that. That company only you have to buy. I will send that picture of that.
Ma'am, can you tell the process of it once more, ma'am? How we should take it?
You have to just melt it and put 2 drops into, 1 or 2 drops into each nostril. After steam inhalation.
Ma'am, what you said the Thailam name?
Anutaila.
Thank you, ma'am.
It doesn't cause burning sensation in everybody, only in very few people who are Pitta Prakriti by nature. So it is, you can try Anutaila, and if you feel there is a burning sensation, then you can switch over to this Panchagavya Ghruta. Or you can do like this, apply nicely Panchagavya Ghruta, and only after that you just put only 1 drop of Anutaila, so that you won't get the burning sensation. For nose block, Panchagavya Ghruta is good.
Okay.
This is not the only treatment. The what I have told you is just tips. So try that for 15 or 20 days. If you are okay with it, enough. If you don't feel much relief, then I have to advise you more medicines.
Anybody want to ask any question? Because my internet problem is there, as usual. Anybody?
Aparna aunty, I have a general question. To explain about how is it to be an Ayurvedic doctor and hope so that the children can get more motivated.
Yeah. Inansati kela yen helidu. How is it to be?
How is it like to be an Ayurvedic doctor? What are the career options available?
Yeah, this is a very, very good question. Actually, when we joined Ayurveda, say in 1986, there was not much of scope. We didn't know what it is. We just joined. People are joining now. We joined due to certain situation at that time. Now it is a it has a very bright future now. Ayurveda is being accepted all over the world, as we have attended several international conferences and we have interacted with many people, doctors outside India. So there is a lot of acceptance and there is a lot of demand for good Ayurveda in all the countries all over the world. They have started some courses, some postgraduate courses, short-term courses in Ayurveda, and many allopathy doctors have taken up those courses and they are learning Ayurveda there, and they are incorporating that in their patients. So there is a lot of scope nowadays. So those who join now Ayurveda, they have a very bright future. So somewhere I don't say that, allopathy is totally useless, but there are certain shortcomings or certain points where they come to a dead end. Certain medicines, what they say, what medicines we have today may be banned another 10 years back. So 10 years in future, 10 years back, what medicines we had, most of them are banned now. So their theories keep on changing. Whereas whatever has been told in Ayurveda is there still today. but unfortunately what is available today is very small portion of Ayurveda. It means we have lost so much of knowledge due to foreign invasions, and in the history it comes like they were punishing who practice Ayurveda when there was Buddhism and other country people invading Ayurveda. They were punishing the Pandits and all. So people were not, I will be surprised to know that even surgery originated in Ayurveda. Sushruta was the father of surgery. So he has explained so many things, Ashtavida Shastra Karmas and so many things. So now they have understood the importance of Ayurveda, and really there is a very good scope. Lot of even there is an acceptance from the people also. Earlier, it was very challenging for us to, people used to doubt whether we are really doctors. I was as a student, when I was just passed out, I should be telling that how much we have faced in life. Our own relatives used to ask, what are you studying? Oh, I would say I did my BAMS degree, I'm a doctor. And are you a doctor really? That means you treat diseases also, like that. So some stupid questions they used to ask. They never had an idea that this is a medical science and they are doctors. They were not considering us like that only. We were looked down upon. So we have faced the challenges, and even today, of course, there is to some extent that discrimination, and to some extent, there is a biased view by some people, but still now we have overgrown all that. We know our importance, but now in future there is a lot of the government is also now thinking of introducing some Ayurvedic subjects in the MBBS curriculum and all those things. So there is a bright future for Ayurveda, that much I can say. It's very nice if good intelligent kids like you become Ayurvedic doctors. It's very, very nice. It's very useful. There is a bright scope all over the world now.
Ma'am,
Ah,
can you share the process of Panchagavyagrata?
ಏನಮ್ಮ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. What?
Ma'am, can you share the process of Panchagavyagrata?
How it is prepared, or you want to know how it is, how you can use it?
Yes,
See, how
ma'am.
it is prepared is not an important point of concern to you. How you can use it is just see, we have a classical process called Nasya Karma. In that we use this till oil, gingerly oil. So 1 or 2 spoons of gingerly oil to be heated and massaged to your face for 5 minutes, Abhyanga we say, and then you have to take steam inhalation for another 5 minutes. Then you have to wash your face with hot water using little basin flour so that the oil will go away. Then lie down flat and just melt this Panchagavyagrata and just put 2 drops to your nostril. This is known as a typical classical Nasya Karma. So if you can do that much, it is fine. Otherwise, you can just take steam inhalation and apply. Just put little. Don't put too much. If you put too much, it causes irritation and all that. Just 1 or 2 drops into each nostril. Your nostrils facing the sky means you have to lie down without pillow. Just put your face facing the roof and then put that. That is the procedure. Once a day you have to do it. So by that, what happens? It increases the blood supply of that area, removes the congestion, and whatever is there, it draws all that kapha out, and you will start start feeling some feeling of some fluid coming out in your nose and mouth, which you should not swallow. You have to spit it out. So it draws out all the toxins or the kapha which is accumulated in your head and neck region. So that is the idea behind this treatment.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Anybody wants to ask any question? My internet, some problem is there today. 2 times it got interrupted. Internet interruption. Rendu saripoye. Everyone adutara? Anybody wants to ask any question? Everyone unda? Yen leda? Edi lekunte close cheddam. Ee roju 8:18 ayindi. 8:15 ayindi.
Ma'am?
Ee roju evaru? అడిగేవాళ్ళు వెంటనే అడగాలి. మేము మనకి గమ్మని ఉండకూడదు. Kada?
What is the floor that you say?
Base and floor.
Kadle hittappa, kadle hittu. What they prepare bonda and all, that yellow color kadle hittu.
Correct. If you want to ask the question, you have to ask the question, shoot the questions immediately. Don't wait for much more time, no?
And still, if you have any questions and available for you, you can take the phone number and you can WhatsApp me. I will or call me. I can answer you. No problem.
Sir, I want to thank Madam, sir, for sharing all the knowledge, and really we are very happy to know so many things of Ayurveda, and kids will be very happy. And this is the age I think they should know, and we are very happy to have you here.
అవును, ఈరోజు మనము చాలా విషయాలు తెలుసుకున్నాం మేడం. ఎందుకంటే ఈరోజు మనం చాలా విషయాలు, కొత్త కొత్త విషయాలన్నీ తెలుసుకున్నాం ఈరోజు. ఇది అధ్యసన, అనశన, అత్యశన, మిథ్యాశన అనేటు 4 మిస్టేక్స్ ఆఫ్ ఈటింగ్ అనే విషయాలు చెప్పారు. అయోగ, హీనయోగ, మిథ్యాయోగ అన్న విషయాలు చెప్పినారు. తర్వాత ఈ విషయాలన్నీ మనం ఏం చేయాలంటే తర్వాత ఇంటికి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత మనం గూగుల్లో సెర్చ్ చేయాలన్నమాట. ఏమిటిది అని, మిథ్యాయోగ అంటే ఏమి, హీనయోగ అంటే ఏమి, అనశన అంటే ఏమి, అత్యశన అంటే ఏమి. All these things you have to again search. You have to search and you have to learn much more. Kada? ఎందుకంటే ఇక్కడ వదిలిపెట్టేయకూడదు. Whatever knowledge you have got today, we have to note down all these points. Go back. తర్వాత ఏం చేయాలి మనము? మనం as usual, we have to go back and we have to turn the book again and try to understand much more about the subject. If we don't understand, again talk to madam only. Madam, నాకు ఇది అర్థం కాలేదు, అధ్యసన అనశన అంటే అర్థం కాలేదు, హీన యోగ అంటే అర్థం కాలేదు అని అడిగితే you will be getting much more information. కదా? అలా చేసుకోవాలి. సరేనా? ఇంకా ఏమైనా నేర్చుకున్నారా? కొత్తగా విషయాలు నేర్చుకున్నావు నిన్ను? మీరు have to jot down all these things. What is the importance of Ayurveda, when it started, how long it is there, what is its heritage అన్ని మనం గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలన్నమాట. అన్ని గుర్తుపెట్టుకునేసి మనం we should try to, if I am going to ask you a question, write something 10 lines about Ayurveda అంటే we should be in a position to write 10 lines about Ayurveda. సరేనా? That is there, and we will be thankful to madam. ఎవరన్నా vote of thanks చెప్తారా మేడం? చెప్పండి మేడం. జ్యోతి మేడం చెప్తారా?
చెప్పండి సార్ ఇందాక అదే.
చెప్పండి మేడం.
ಅಪ್ಪಣ್ಣ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ನಮ್ಮಿಂದ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಹುಡುಗರಿಗೆ ಹೇಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಇವತ್ತು ಅನ್ನೋದು ತಾಯಿರು ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ತಂದೆರು ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದು ಹುಡುಗರಿಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗನೆ ಅಮ್ಮನೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಇದೇ ಹೇಳಿದಾರಲ್ವಾ ಸಾಕು ಅಂತ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಇವಾಗ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅವ್ರ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವ್ರ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರು ನಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸೆಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ತಿಂತಾ ಇದಾರೋ ಅದೇ ತಿಂದು ಅಂತ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ. ನಿದ್ದೆ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ನೋಡ್ಲಿರೋದು, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನ ಅವ್ರು ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಆಸೆ ಪಡೋಣ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ. ಅಂಡ್ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಸತಿ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಮೇಡಮ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ನನಗೊಂದು ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ thankful to
very much Aparna. Very very nice of you. You have come all the way, because taking out almost, you have squeezed your 1.5 hour time. Almost 1.5 hour.
My pleasure and my duty.
Yes, you have done very well, and we are very very happy. And many of my children, they are asking so many questions. I also never expected that they have so much of inquisitiveness to ask so many questions. Chala questions adiyaru. So they have asked many things and you have answered all those things. With all your experience, knowledge and all these things have come into the platform. And మేము కూడా Geeta students అంటారు, we are very very happy and immensely proud of your great achievements and all these things. Thank you all of you, because any మీ achievements ఎప్పుడన్నా కొత్త achievements కూడాను మాకు పోస్ట్ చేస్తే we will be sharing with all our students. And our students also will be coming to you. Maybe ఇంకో క్లాస్ కూడా మేము ఎప్పుడైనా ఇన్వైట్ చేస్తాము. You can come for our Talents Day. Is not so far. It is very very nearby. Talents Day కూడా దగ్గర పెట్టుకున్నాం ఈ మధ్య ఈలోగానే. Talents Day కూడాను మీరు మీ టైం ఉంటే you can come join with us and share your experiences, knowledge and experiences. So you can be part of our Geeta family. Like that we can take you like that. Geeta children.
I forgot to thank you, sir, for coordinating this and bringing madam here to the platform.
Oh yes, madam. Thank you so much, madam. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you very much, sir.
So we can close the class,
Yes,
no? We can close the class. If any doubts are there, I'll be giving you the. Very good. Thank you so much. I'll be closing this recording also and also end the class today.
Okay, sir.